Hi here, Finns here. I am back for another video, and today I'm going to be predicting who will win Eurovision 2024 this year, and also be talking about the latest news that has been happening in the last few hours. So yes, it's been quite an eventful few hours since the second semi-final took place. Um, So yes, I have to talk about the elephant in the room, about the Israel situation and the Netherlands situation today. So in the dress rehearsal and the jury rehearsal, Joost Klein from the Netherlands did not perform tonight. Um, Now the EBU hasn't confirmed what the incident happened with Joost, but for some other reason he did not appear. His footage from semi-final two was his performance. Um, so, and there's been all these stories and all these rumors that Yus Klein wasn't nice, let's say, to the Israeli team and act um, during the press conference on the second semi-final on Thursday night. Um, there's been all these stories, all these rumors. It's I feel it feels very unfortunate that it's happened like this. Um, you know, as much as I don't really like the Dutch entry on a personal note, like I never really liked the song anyway. I would I would like to see every performer that gets to the jury to get to the grand final to perform in the jury show, even use Klein. So I am sad and disappointed that he didn't be able to perform in the jury final for whatever reason. Um, and I kind of hope there's no bullying behavior behind the scenes. I kind of hope like I kind of hope it's not that because that's not what Eurovision should be. We should see artists getting along and that, and it should be a happy vibe, you know. And it's sad. It's sad it's come to this, personally. And of course, there's been a lot of news since Israel qualified on Thursday. I just switched on my TV, and the first news headline was that all these stories about Israel, qualifying at Eurovision, Um, so yes, it's, as I say before, I mean, I do feel sorry for Eden because she is just a 20-year-old girl that just wants to sing for Israel, and I feel bad for it because at the end of the day, she's not in control of her government. She doesn't make the big decisions. She just wants to sing for her country, and I just feel bad. Like, I can understand everybody's allowed an opinion, everybody's allowed a say. Eh, Most countries are free countries. Well, it should be. Um, you know, if you want to be pro-Palestine, that's fine, but don't come at people personally. Like Eden Golan is a real person at the end of the day with real feelings. So, she's been through a lot and she has put a brave face on all these things that have happened to her these last few weeks. And I've got to give it to her because she has had probably the hardest journey at Eurovision this year compared to any other artist that I've ever thought of, really. Um, you know, the lack of promotion, not really getting to see any of the other artists, the lack of interviews, the lack of interaction with anybody else, really. I just feel so, just like, it just feels so unfortunate it's come to this. And and all these stories about these protests and that, and yeah, it's just not what Eurovision is about. And I hope both Joost from the Netherlands and Eden from Israel both perform live tomorrow night in that live show. And after Eurovision, they can both get on with their lives as fine. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah, it's just an unfortunate event, and it's just really, really sad. It's just really, really sad that this year has been kind of overshadowed by the Israeli thing, and I was kind of hoping people would move on from this, but clearly not. I mean, I don't know whether the EBU will take into consideration going into 2025 whether, is it right for Israel to compete again the following year, depending what the country will be going through the next few months, the state of play in. I mean, we can dive into that. But ultimately, if the EBU knew it wasn't safe for Israel to perform, they would have never performed in the first place. So the new, though, but then again, you don't know what will be happening around the corner in the next few months and that. And anyway, the point is, um, I'm happy Israel is here. I say let the poor girl sing on Saturday night. If you don't want to see Israel's performance, you can have a toilet break, is all I say. So yes, I feel like let's enjoy Saturday night. Let's have a great grand final because Eurovision 2024 is going to be a great show and we've got some good songs in the finals. So let's not overshadow what's been happening in the news recently and let's just have a good final at the end of the day. Whatever happens, let's just have a good final. Let's have a party on Saturday night. Let's have a good show. Okay, everyone? But let's go back to the main point of this video. It's about who will win Eurovision 2024. And I've been backwards and forwards. For a long time, Italy was very high up in my odds, but Croatia is really rising up. I think it's going to be Italy v Croatia on Saturday. And going back to Israel, I know they have climbed up in the odds, but I think that being said, I think all this news and all this hype around Israel, I think is what has caused it. I don't think Israel will win because I don't think the some juries won't give 12 points or any points to Israel. But I do think Israel will get a high televote and they could come top 10 in Saturday's grand final. But to be fair with Israel, I think they're just happy to take part and happy to be there, really. I think with all that's happened, it's just a miracle they're there. Um, yeah, but going back to the main point, I think it's Croatia v Italy. And of course, the running order has been published. And of course, this year, you can vote at the start of the contest from song one throughout the show, so that will be interesting to see. My biggest takeaways from the running orders, they put Ukraine number two, so they're clearly, taking a bit of a risk with this new televote opening system for the first time in like 13 years or something. They're doing that. So yes, that was a bold move to make for Ukraine, but I think there's this discussion why they put Ukraine and maybe Israel on quite early on in the in the grand final is because I feel like you don't want those two countries to win because hosting wise it is not ideal for either of them. But I feel Ukraine will still come top five in the number two spot. And the other big takeaway, Austria closing, I'm very happy. I think it was always between Cyprus or Austria to close, and I think Austria is such a good closer. Um,